think the male ego is I think it's a survival thing. Like I think it's just a natural competitive amongst males. But I think all people got it, but we focusing on men right now. Like it's like just a natural competitive. It's a survival instinct. And as much as people talk about the ego is a bad thing, I think the ego is needed because I feel like it's your survival mechanism. But I also do believe that it's something that you have to control and you have to be aware of. You know what I'm saying? You can't like it's okay to have an ego, but you got to check it. You got to be. That's where that self reflection come in. Be like, all right, did I make this ego from the kind? I mean, did I make this decision from the kindness of my heart, or did I make this from a clear place, or did I make this decision from my ego? Like you got to kind of like constantly check yourself like that, rather than trying to get rid of it. Because I feel like a person who has no ego just pretty much is well, just what I'm saying. It's like to go just let themselves go. You know what I'm saying? At least that way I look at it. So I don't know, but that's how I look at that shit.
Yeah, I feel like ego, it does tie a lot into your confidence, but it is separate as well because your ego can get in the way of you accomplishing things, right? So what I realize is that there's notches to your ego, and sometimes you do got to take yourself down a notch or two just to be able to be perceptive and listen and maybe learn more rather than thinking that you know everything or that you know what I'm saying, that you don't need any like growth, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's where the big part of where your ego can play into um is limiting your growth and your potential to, what the fuck is that word called,
Expand,
evolve.
expand,
Evolve,
yeah,
yeah,
or evolve, yeah,
evolve.
yeah, yeah,
So that's
yeah.
one thing. I feel like once you get older, you know what I'm saying? Like just think about this, right? Think about this scenario. Think about somebody that's on a basketball team that's the star player for his entire life. Nobody was better than this Bama. And then he gets to the NBA and he's on a bench for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? That do something to your ego. But if he had learned that during college, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to make sure that I'm learning. I need to make sure that I'm evolving. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't revolve around me. That actually might lead to his growth rather than him just realizing that shit in the NBA. And then he's just like, you know what I'm saying? His whole life is done because the nigga ain't even getting no playing time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, that's just
Mm-hmm.
a scenario, but it's a learn. I think it's a learning process, and it's something that I would say that somebody has to discover earlier rather than later. That
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta be perceptive, but that's it.
I think that's more of a like I guess so shit. How do you learn? Do you learn through trial and error? Do you learn through, what I'm saying, like actually listening and talking to people? Do you learn through, what I'm saying, books and actually knowledge? Or I mean, I know it's different ways to learn, but I'm just wondering out loud.
I think it's all of those. I think it's all of those, but I think
Yeah, I agree.
it's
Just
the
touch.
biggest way to learn is through fucking events. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the biggest teacher to me is like, you know what I'm saying, him going up against somebody that's better than him and him saying, oh shit, this is high school. You know what I'm saying? I gotta understand that I'm not the best. I'm not the shit. My shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to evolve and get better. Like I can't just think that I'm the best out here and nobody can check me. So yeah, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
all of those though. I think it's Al, you hit it, man. I think it's books, but I think living through it is the biggest teacher.
Experience.
Yeah.
Experience is definitely the biggest teacher. I definitely think asking questions, you know what I'm saying, and then applying them, you know what I'm saying, and through your application, that's you gaining experience. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where the experience come through. It's kind of like, I wonder how this works. Let me try this. Okay, now I have data. You know what I'm saying? Now I learn. Now I can either go this way, I can go that way. It's like kind of like that type of shit. So I think that's very important. But I think even as far as the whole ego thing, like even like let's say like somebody like Kobe, Michael Jordan, like their egos drove them. You know what I'm saying? It was like that drive to be the best. But then
Yeah.
also there was part of the fear of not succeeding. You know what I'm saying? So it was like still that ego aspect of it. Like I said, but it's like that fear of not succeeding is your ego, but you use it in a positive way to drive you rather than letting it be something that's destructive.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which could
Yep.
also go. So I think that's the balance. Like you need it, but you just got to use it the right way. Use it to your advantage instead of letting it use you. That's kind of like the best way. And a lot of times, we all fall into that, letting our ego take over and shit. We all do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta be aware of it, and you gotta be and reflect on that shit and be like, all right, my ego was there. I gotta move different, or you know what I'm saying. Just check yourself. I think it's just that simple. As far as
so that's an awesome example talking about Michael Jordan, because he didn't even start in high school. You know what I'm saying? So he experienced that shit early. Like it wasn't like he got to the NBA and was like already, you know what I'm saying, thinking like, I haven't gone through anything in my life that has, you know what I'm saying? Like the nigga wasn't starting in high school. So he was already had a chip on his shoulder, like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get better. I gotta show what I gotta do. I gotta evolve. So I think that's a good example.
Look.
Because
and I apologize. Go
no.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it sometimes you need to be humble, man. I'm gonna say that out straight out. You know what I'm saying? I've never known somebody that was a high succeeder or a top succeeder without them having some or being humble earlier in their life. You know what I mean? So that speaks to what Michael Jordan had to go through too. The nigga wasn't even starting in high school. So
that's real shit.
And the thing I was gonna add on top of that is that even as far as that example is Michael Jordan, right? Because your ego work in two ways. So it's like your ego could say, all right, because it's a survival tool. So if Michael Jordan would have failed, he would have been like, damn, I failed. I'm not going to try again, to protect himself from failing. Yeah. So his ego said, Michael, you're not good enough because we don't want to go through that experience no more. So he could have, then that's when the ego used him. You know what I'm saying? But instead of that, using it, but what Michael Jordan did is he used that same fear and used it to make him the best. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that's what it's there for. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta use that shit for for a more, for a progressive purpose, So yeah.
You want to know?
I would say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Corey.
I got a question.
I was gonna say personally, I know ego fucked me up with football over at fucking Bowie State and shit. Like, especially being like in high school, pee-wee football, that shit. Being good and shit. You're gonna fucking start. You always if you're Gucci, you know what I'm saying. You're gonna fucking start or whatever the fuck. You're gonna fucking start. But going to college and shit and playing football, I had to sit behind the fucking starters and shit and just eat the shit up or whatever the fuck. But the ego fucked me up. Ego fucked me up hard. Ego fucked me up hard over that joint. I just knew I was supposed to start, and I was just out there joint lunching and whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? As far as college football and shit, because I mean, we had. I forgot what was Cuz's name. I forgot the nigga who was playing safety and shit, and he fucked his shit up. He fucked his shit up.
Yeah.
AC.
I remember him.
AC.
Yeah, I remember him.
I think it was.
He was a projected 4th round pick.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It was like ego fucked me up because I just thought I was supposed to start, and I was out there showing luncheon and just getting to smoking weed and doing some other shit or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck going to practice and all this shit and whatever. But that's just that ego sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You think you're supposed to be doing some other shit and you end up doing some other shit. You know what I'm saying?
How closely related is ego and confidence or like overconfidence?
I think they're fucking one and the same, honestly. I think they're fucking one and the same. I think they're one and the fucking same. One and the fucking
I don't know. I don't think so.
Nah, I
So
don't think
I don't think he. I don't think he. You can like.
Until you
I
get
don't think
humble.
confidence is necessarily
Until you
rooted
get
in
humble.
ego.
Until
I
you
think
get
confidence is. No, I think. No, I mean, I'm saying I think confidence is rooted more in like belief in yourself through experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like, okay, I know I can do this because I've done this before, but it's like kind of putting yourself out there to the test and seeing what you're capable of. But I don't think that has nothing to do with just knowing what you're capable of. I don't think that has anything to do with ego. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
All right, can
maybe
I
I'm not
point
tying
out
the two together.
one particular example of this? And we know this person very well, RG3. This nigga had, I think his downfall was he lost his like supreme confidence, which started with his ego.
What ego did he have though?
Coming back his second year, he had the ego to tell his coaches he's not running certain plays, he's not being
I didn't know that.
he's not being the supreme athlete with
He said,
the
"Fuck this."
supreme confidence that he played with in 2012,
I
and
hear
said,
that.
"Nah, we scrapping all that."
Well,
So
this
He was never the same player after that. He was never the same player after that because
but
he had
I
this.
understand that once you make it to that level though, I get it. You think you can come out here and make certain claims to certain shit or
Like
whatever.
I don't give a fuck about nothing about like play calling and none of that shit. This nigga had supreme confidence on the field. He had athletic arrogance that he walked around with. Like he real life thought he was Superman. And when he played like Superman, he was like untouchable. The same thing with Cam Newton. If Cam Newton played like with that
Cam is different.
hold on. If Cam played with that same like tenacity, that arrogance that he played with on his MVP year, like he don't try to be the athlete that he was. Like he just comfortable trying to sit in the pocket, get the ball off quick. You know what I mean? Like be an athlete, bro. Be an athlete. You're the same guy. You have the same frame. You have it.
I think sometimes I think
Cam's trying to keep his job. Cam just trying to keep his job.
I think, and for me, I think that's the thing. So with confidence is, I guess, basically like having the knowledge and the belief in your own abilities beyond everything else, right? But with the ego, and I know they're still on the same parallel track. But I think for the ego is like literally operating on your own self-interest. Whereas though it's like, all right, just how you just brought up RG3, and that's ego came in where it's like, nah, man, I know I'm good. I know I'm great, but fuck that. Like my ego's so big where I'm not even going to like put myself aside for the betterment of the team or put myself aside for the betterment of whatever organization I need to shine. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like actually working within a system per se to actually to create something better. I don't know. My thought.
Yeah, because I think confidence has let me just put it like this. Being a black man in this goddamn motherfucking society, you gotta be confident. I'm gonna put it like that. And I don't care who the fuck you are, you need to be confident in yourself. You need to be confident in your skills. You need to be confident in how you talk, in your communication. I feel like ego has almost like a little negative connotation to it. But confidence, I feel like you know what I'm saying? There's such thing as overconfidence, but I feel like when you grow into yourself, you know when to exude your confidence. You know when to dial it back. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you, Al. Like I think ego is more of a self-centered arrogance type thing. I think confidence is something that you should have, and I don't think you can have enough confidence. Like I don't think you can have too much confidence in yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that there's a big misconception as ego being confident. You know what I'm saying? I think like just even in society, we kind of like, celebrate the asshole. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like that type of shit. So I feel like we kind of look at ego as being confident. And I think it kind of blurs the lines. but I don't really think it's the same thing.
You hold on, wait. You can't have too much confidence.
I said you can be overly confident, but to me, and just roll with me as a black man in this motherfucking society, I do not hate on any black man that has too much confidence because I appreciate that. I want that. I think we should have more.
Yeah, I agree.
That are more confident. You know what I'm saying? If we had more black men that were confident, we would be ruling this motherfucking world. So I'm just put it like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think you can't have too much confidence because whatever you feel about yourself is how you feel about yourself. You don't have to outwardly express it, be super duper like my confidence could be to the fucking moon, and you could think I'm the most humblest nigga in the world, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I don't mean how when I apply myself to something or when I move or whatever the fuck I do, like I might be supremely confident, but I don't have to show it to you. I don't have to put it in your face. So I don't think you can have too much confidence, but I do think it becomes arrogance when you feel like you got to show it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's probably, or that's where the ego, that's where the ego comes in. You see what I'm saying? I think arrogance is confidence mixed with ego. I guess maybe if that's a good way to put it, you know.
No, that's a good way of putting it. I like it.
Saying like too much confidence have you dressing like Russell Westbrook.
Hey, man, damn.